Hi everyone, CB Smith here, and I just finished watching the new Salem's Lot movie, and well, as a colleague of mine would say on this website, I thought it was fine and fun, but I have thoughts. Salem's Lot was the Stephen King book that made me a fan. I think it's a novel that showcases all of the man's strengths in his writing, and a way that I like to describe the book is it's Dracula for the Vietnam generation. What I mean is that in Dracula, you have the story of an evil menace coming to what was at the time one of the most powerful empires in the world, and it's sneaking its way through the slums of London till it resides in a house a block away from Buckingham Palace near the royal family. This evil is morphing the sweet innocence of those around it until it can be stopped by essentially the power of friendship and modern science. In Salem's Lot, you have an evil coming into not the capital or the big city of another powerful empire, but was invited into a small town that isn't innocent. The novel is called Salem's Lot, and the town itself is a character. Before our main vampire comes to the lot, in the words of one character in the book, the town's already dead. And while it takes a group of people to stop the evil, it comes at a great cost to everyone involved. And at the end, it still wasn't enough to save the town. Salem's Lot is a bleak book that now has three adaptations coming out at a time that reflects that type of pessimism that, pun intended, bled through the page. First one was a TV movie at the end of the Carter administration. Vietnam was still a recent memory, and it aired literally 2 weeks after the Iran hostage crisis started. It was a bleak time. Second one came out in 2004 during the invasion of Iraq. And this one, I mean, come on. This new version is made by the same people who've made the Conjuring movies and the It adaptations a couple years back, and it shows. The Conjuring and It movies are period pieces that used a lot of modern horror tropes of long silence and big boom scares with some generally creative set pieces, and if you're a fan of those movies, you'll get that type of flavor here with this Salem's Lot. There's generally some really cool set pieces in this movie. One's a callback to the old Nosferatu movie, and another is a stylized backlit walk in the woods that makes me think of the opening of the 90s Dracula movie, either of which can be its like own little scary short film. I am a little disappointed though. The thing about the other adaptations is they took place at a time that they were made. I think it was a mistake or a missed opportunity to make this movie a period piece, like trying to capture the lightning in a bottle twice with the It remake again. Well, the first movie anyway. But that book was partially about the horrors of looking back at the stupid things you did as a kid and realize, wow, you could have seriously died doing the things you did, which makes sense to have a part based on a time period many of the audience members were kids in, the 1980s. But Salem's Lot is not that. I'm not going to go through plot differences. I mean, we can discuss that in the comments. Just know that the major events of the book do happen in this version, just in different order and characters replacing other characters. Not to go back to the It movies, but stretching that story to two movies was smart. Salem's Lot is almost as long as the It book, and watching this version, the plot rushes through at a crazy speed where important information is dropped in dialogue in a blink it, you'll miss it kind of thing. I imagine there was like a lot of editing done to squeeze the story down to less than 2 hours. There's no room to breathe, really, you know? Like, the death of Salem's Lot is a slow death that creeps on you without notice, and this movie is more like the Wikipedia plot summary version of that. There was a movie adaptation to King's Dark Tower series where that movie was based on 8 books, but was squeezed into 90 minutes. That's not a great movie, but it's a fascinating train wreck to watch. This Salem's Lot, it's you know, fine and fun. But for what it's worth, it's also short. Thanks for watching.